All right, people, get in here. It is time. We are going to distribute some freedom. Oh, man, we are going to be like Johnny Appleseed, broadcasting this freedom with a few backhands, some uncomfortable truths we have to talk about. I'm probably going to irritate a few people with some of the things I'm about to show you. Not in you guys, but you'll see. And, of course, the world is ending. The election's tomorrow. Turns out Republicans will never win again. Conservatives will never win again. Meanwhile, the things they're not telling you are what's going to destroy them. Y'all, this is going to be one I'm going to need you to send out because I feel like there's a whole lot of fear running around for a whole lot of no reason. And we're going to walk through the entire thing right now. Let me hear you guys in the comments. I need to see planes. I need emojis. I need chats. I need comments because I'm going to be honest with you, there's going to be a lot of stuff for you to talk about in this episode. I can already feel it. All right, as we get in here, guys, you know the chats, the emojis, the comments, they make the world go round. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We are singularly focused on saving this country through commentary, analysis, and to be quite honest with you, not lying to you. I know, it's weird. All right, I'm going to follow the truth wherever it goes, and I will present all my sources in the description box below because honestly, that's what we need. All right. As you guys are getting in here, I'm going to start out real quick with something. This is the part probably pissing people off, but that's okay. It needs to be said. This is for something bigger than ourselves. Not you guys, by the way. I'm going to say something I need you guys to tag. You think of the creator, the most prominent conservative creator on X, YouTube, influencer, leader of the conservative space. Name anybody. I don't care. They're all fighting, so you can say it to all of them. Tag them on X. You can tag me too, at Braden LOA. Here's the message. Stop this crap you're doing to each other. Because what's happening is while you guys are fighting over who is the most virtue signaled pro-Trump, pro-MAGA, who cares the most, your opponents on the left are gaining a foothold in the media narrative machine of which you are abdicating because you want to fight each other. Stop this crap. Clear? Good. All right, let's keep on going. We do not need to destroy each other. Our opponents are very clearly at the gates, and we need to do some work here. Let me hear you in the comments and the chats on that one if you guys agree, because everyone needs to knock it off. I'm not picking sides. I'm not picking teams. I will objectively tell you what I think, and that's it. What I think right now is we need to stop this crap. That's the first part that's going to piss some people off. All right, let's get right into it. Like, I love to see the emojis and all that stuff popping over here. Thank you guys so much for that. All right, let's get into this. I always bring the appetizers before the spice. I'm going to be honest, this is going to be a thing right here. So, this first one, this is the appetizer to show you how the libs are going to own us. The lefties, they're going to get us. They're going to teach us a lesson. They found a new form of protest. And these are always a little more entertaining. They're something a little bit more on the lighter edge to really whet your appetite for the freedom that is to come later in this episode. So this is a young lady, and she has a new form of protest against us pesky MAGA, conservative, Republican, Tea Party. You know, the people who like traditional values, the country under, not being taxed out of our brains, not being socialist nation, communist nation, and actually knowing that dudes are dudes and women are women. Anyway, other than those little things, this is what she's got to say to us. This is how she's going to do it. I told you, this is going to be a spicy one. I told you. All right, let's go. This is the newest form of protest, you young men out there. Watch out, guys.
I need you to stop dating Trump supporters. And if your boyfriend's a Trump supporter, I need you to dump him. And if you're going on a date with a guy who you match with on a dating app, I need you to ask him before you go on the date who he voted for. And if he says Donald Trump, I need you to say fuck no to that date. And if you don't have the time or the money to donate to political causes or to go out and protest, then at the bare minimum, I need you to not date the people who voted for Donald Trump. A man who voted for Donald Trump is a man who voted for a known pedo assaulter. I need us to lock in and stop letting men like that get anything good in life. I need you to stop rewarding them with your presence and your time and your company when they are bigots inside, okay? Additionally, Donald Trump has platformed people who say some of the most atrocious things about women I have ever heard. They say that women ruin the workforce. They say that women should have never been given the right to vote. Is that the kind of man who you want as the father of your children? Specifically a daughter. Would you want that man to father your children? Because the answer is fuck no. I don't care if he's tall, I don't care if he's hot, I don't care if he's rich. It's fuck Trump supporters. Fuck them. It's a non-negotiable no.
Well, guess we can scratch her off the list. Who else sees cats in her future? God, with women like this, I tell you what. Here's a little word to the young ladies who are traditional values, to you people who have younger, either children or grandchildren or whatever. The field has never been more open for the normal person. I'm just saying. Like, with crazies like this, fully broadcasting it, and advertising it for the world. Anybody who's like a 7 with a brain is like an 11 these days. I'm just telling you. I mean, like, even with a face for radio, come on. This is crazy. But at least they're telling you. All right, let's keep on going. Well, I told you it's going to be a fun one, guys. And I can see, oh, man. I'm loving the emojis, the comments, the chats. Let's keep going now. The time, it's time, guys. We have enough people in here. We're going to have a great stream. But I've got to be really brutally honest with you guys about something. If you turned on any network TV right now, if you open X, if you open Facebook, if you open YouTube, the world is falling. The world is, it's going to be blown up. Trump never existed. And if he did, he's the least popular person that may have existed. All Republicans are evil. Nobody likes him. We might as well go eat dirt. I mean, good God, I'm telling you, the propaganda is on like 11. 11. And all the while, they're not telling you a few things, which I've got in the tabs that you see at the top of the screen. That's coming later. But first, let me show you what they're bringing forward. Because this one right here, this is the big election eve. This is the big moment. This is the thing that's going to upend all Republicans all over the place. This special election in Tennessee, it's a harbinger of things to come. It's a bellwether. It is the very demise of MAGA itself. Yet watch this crap. They keep on putting up far left psychos. Watch this.
Crime is, of course, also was a major issue in the presidential election, and I know there are some old posts. You've been asked about those old posts a number of times. My question for you today is whether more money for cops on the streets in the district you hope to represent would help fight crime. Would you like more money for more cops on the streets in your district?
So those past comments were at a time when I was a private citizen, as an activist and organizer, and now as a Tennessee lawmaker, I represent 40,000 individual opinions and political thought.
Right,
and
so what do you think now? Would more money for cops be good or bad?
I think it depends on what the community wants. And so I've worked with communities, at least my constituents, want to ensure that there is investment in their community for community safety, community protection, mental health services. And that's what I'm hearing from at least my constituents.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, guys, come here. When you're a Democrat politician, darling position, and you get all the media coverage you want, you get all the Democrat accolades, you are the new face of the resistance. If you miss layups like that, one of the most destructive phrases in the Democrat history, other than the whole Jim Crow KKK thing, which, again, I'm going to say it because that was real. That's historically rooted in fact. Other than that, the defunding the police thing, that's the most egregious damage that they ever did in the stupidest, as James Carville says, episode in Democrat history. It is egregiously bad. But what does the woman who's running for the special election tomorrow come out and say? She misses that one. Because she doesn't want to give more money to the police. She's still defunding the police because she's far left, woke, progressive. She worked for the Indivisible group. That is a communist-backed community organizing group behind the No Kings geriatric rally. I'm telling you, it's everywhere. All right, let's keep on going. But if you missed that one, you are not doing it right. All right, now this part. I'm debating on how I'm going to do this. I'm going to be candid with you guys because I owe you the best. And I want to set this I want to preface this by saying the information you're about to see is propaganda from CNN. The world is over. The world is ending. But before I clip that, I'm actually going to do it this way. I want to show you something in reality. This is the New York Times. This is the stuff that they're not telling you that's underlying the entire population in the the electoral map, the electoral college, everything that's happening. There's one thing, we'll come back to it in a second. The electoral college maps are going to shift in 2030 because the population left all the blue cities. Okay, there's another one. The Supreme Court appears ready to limit key parts of the Voting Rights Act. You guys remember when this was the world ending about 3.5 months ago? And remember when this was the world ending about 6 months ago? Y'all, I'm telling you, they're changing stuff up on you so fast. That's full-on propaganda, okay? We're going to come back to this in 1 second. Let me keep on getting into this because this is the stuff you guys have got to see. This is really important stuff. Here we go. This is CNN. Now, I'm about to show you some language from Harry Enton saying how evil it is, or how bad it is, how evil the outlook is for Republicans now that this is the final harbinger of doom. There's, of course, some things they're not telling you, but I want to highlight them because I owe it to you guys. Of course, comments, chats, emojis. Let me know if I'm landing this plane. Let's keep it going. Take it away, CNN. We have got some propaganda to dispel.
Tomorrow, a special election for Tennessee's 7th congressional district. This is a heavily Republican district. So why are Republicans having to spend so much money there? CNN chief data analyst Harry Enton is here with the details. When I say this is a Republican district, Harry, how Republican?
It is a ruby red Republican district, John.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got to do this in real time. The angle that guy just took was, well, how much money are they spending in this race? The answer is $3.2 million. Hey, I got a question for you guys. How much money did the Democrats just take out in a loan to stay afloat, to pay their payroll and fund campaigns because they needed a win? Yeah, that was $15 million in the month of October into November. So, I mean, like, this whole angle of Republicans spent $3 million. Republicans have $87 million in their war chest, and Democrats are taking out loans to stay afloat. Didn't tell you that, did they? Well, we covered it right here. But anyway, back to the Ruby Red District.
I mean, what are we talking about? Well, why don't we just take a look at the past 3 presidential elections in the great state of Tennessee, in the 7th district, in that great state. Look at Trump's margins. In 2016, he won it by 17 points. 2020, 15 points. And then in 2024, Johnny B, takes the cake here. We get Donald Trump winning by 22 points. That's why I say even a close GOP win tomorrow is a bad sign for them, because what we're dealing with is a district that all 3 times that Donald Trump was on the ballot in the general election, he won it by double digits. And last time, he broke the 20-point margin barrier.
I would say if you had to look at the congressional map, any district that Donald Trump won by 22 points, you would say, you know, you've got like nearly a 100% chance of winning if you're running for Congress there. But what are the prediction markets saying right now?
Yeah, what are we talking about in terms of the prediction market odds? Look, the Democrat has a 15% chance of.
The Democrat has a 15% chance of winning. Now, here's the whole point, and I'm going to cut it to you really straight. I will be objective with you guys and honest as the best I can be. The fact that this is close indicates there's a problem. Does it indicate that there's something wrong to the point where the entire Republican Party, MAGA, conservative, Trump thing is dead? No. No, it does not. In fact, you could even thank them for telling you there's a problem about 12 months ahead of time so you can fix it. That's just the way I look at things. But honestly, if you're looking at this as not a 100% win, it is an indicator of something that is off in the system. You can fix it. But here's the point. They're pouring all this money into something that has a 15% chance of winning, according to the betting markets. A 15% chance of winning is not where you pour millions upon millions upon millions of dollars unless it is a symbol, an icon, unless it is a symbol of a struggle, because they need to prove to their donors that they can get more money to win. That's the whole point. Just like Virginia, just like New Jersey, just like New York. That's what they've been trying to do over and over and over again. There is an incumbency bias against anyone in power. You saw it in Team Blue. You saw it in Team Red. Pretty much everybody's pissed. In fact, I can even jump out of order real quick, and I think it's this one. No, it's not that one. Hold on. No, it's not that one. Going our way. Here you go. Congressional job approval is a disapprove of 80%. No, sorry. There you go. Disapproval, 80 freaking %. It's not hard to see where that comes from. But anyway, let's keep on going. We got more on that in a second. And if you guys are just now getting in here, you're picking up a spicy one, but I think it needs to be said. So we're just going to keep on rolling. All right. Like I said, 15%, 68% GOP wins by under 10 points. And that's what he's saying, is that the fact that it's going to be this huge landslide because she loses by a smaller margin than a larger margin, which is indicative of the entire thing of the system. Okay, bear with me. Watch this. He says something he doesn't hit on. It's pretty funny.
Winning in that race. Okay, a 15% chance, which ain't nothing in a district that Donald Trump won by 22 points. But here I think is the key nugget on this side of the ledger, and that is a GOP win by under 10 points. There's a 68% chance of that. So there is a more than 2/3 chance that the Republican candidate, yes, they win, But they win by a significantly lower margin than Donald Trump. We're talking about double digits, smaller. We're talking about a huge shift to the left. We're talking about, when you add these two together, we're talking about a more than 80% chance that there is a clear double-digit shift to the left and a 15% chance the Democrat actually wins in a district that Donald Trump won by 22 points. That just shows you how bad the environment is for Republicans right now, that the Democrat has any sort of a chance in this district.
Talk to me about what the
Okay, he just said, and guys, this is the important piece. Please lock in for me on this part. Hit those likes, the emojis, the shares, the comments. This is an important one. Okay, the election's tomorrow. He just said something really important that I need you guys to focus on. A 10-plus point shift to the left. Completely and totally incorrect. Just because Trump voters are not motivated to go out and vote does not mean that there is a change of a 10% shift to the left. He's about to say something about Kamala Harris, which is the underlying secret that they can't ever say out loud that you're really going to enjoy. But this is the whole point. They're interpreting this as a major shift to the left, and everyone likes Democratic policies all of a sudden, even though she just adopted in all of her speech and hating Nashville and hating everyone about country music and hating all her constituents. The whole point is all woke left ideology. Trump's not on the ballot. There is a significant trend of which J.D. Vance is about to talk about, which he's onto something. All right, let's let Harry wrap up. He's about to say something about Kamala Harris, which you guys are going to love. Chats, emojis, comments, let's get it.
special election has been showing so far.
Yeah, okay, so you see this and you say, okay, this might just be a one-off in Tennessee. It's a December special election. But get this, 2025 House special elections. Dems outran Kamala Harris. We've had 5 so far. Arizona 7, Dem outran Kamala Harris. Florida 1, Dem outran Kamala Harris. Florida 6, Dem outran Kamala Harris. Texas 18, Dem outran Kamala Harris. And in the suburbs of Washington, D.C., in Virginia 11, the Dem outran Kamala Harris. And on average so far, the Democrats have been outrunning Kamala Harris's margin by over 15 points. So what the prediction market suggests would happen in Tennessee is not something that's happening in isolation. It is happening all over the congressional map.
Okay, so when you see something like this, what does history tell us about what ultimately...
Okay, you guys know where that's going. That's not the important piece. But I want to bring something to your attention real quick. Hey, you see those numbers and those check boxes on the screen, or check marks on the screen? The whole big point here and the big argument is that they outran Kamala Harris by 15 points. The least popular Democratic candidate who lost the popular vote, all 7 swing states, the Senate and the House last year. You mean that one? The one that took the previous bar that was right here and lowered it all the way down here. And so now you're telling me that the big news is you're equalizing back above Kamala Harris, the lowest bar possible, while you guys are still contemplating her coming in as the candidate again? Am I taking crazy pills? Does anybody hear what he just said? All 5 of these districts outperformed the worst performing candidate we've ever had. It's a blue wave. I mean, like, anybody? Am I like off my rocker? Am I on my pill? I don't know. That just sounds insulting to me. That doesn't really sound like a point of insane, amazing hope. That sounds like an open, overt slap in the face to Kamala Harris and her wine box vibes. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's keep on going. I got a lot more. See, you guys are getting it. All right, let's keep on going. This is the important part. This is something that I will pound into the ground for the next 11 to 12 months, because this is the unlockable key right here. This is it. If you want people to vote for you, Republicans, offer them something that actually they can rally behind and they can get behind. Give them a reason to motivate, to support you. Don't just go, I'm Team R. They're Team D. Team D is bad, so you must vote Team R. That will not do it. You will lose every time. Just like the Democrats did not win when they said Donald Trump is evil. He's a 34 convicted felon. You can't vote for him because he's evil. What are you guys going to do for me? Nothing at all, but he's evil. It works both ways. That screen door swings both ways. My Southern showing a little bit. But listen to J.D. Vance here, because this is important, and this is the point that needs to be spread to every single conservative and every single person across this globe, and all the conservative commentators that are fighting each other and nipping at their own ankles need to stop and get on board with this message right here.
The Republican coalition in the 1990s was more upscale. They showed up in midterms. So Republicans tended to do a little bit better in midterm elections in the 1990s than, say, Republicans do today. And that's because while these working class voters are great, they're also people who don't necessarily show up to vote in the midterms all the time. We've got to motivate them. We've got to get them out to vote. I think it's one of the lessons that we learned in Virginia and New Jersey is that when Donald Trump is not on the ballot, you've got to give people something to actually believe in, something to be inspired by to get out there and vote. They're not going to vote just because you have an R next to your name. You've got to speak to this new working class coalition. And the one worry that I have when I look at so many of our great congressional allies, I do think that some of our folks in Congress, they want to go back to the Republican Party of 20 years ago. That Republican Party was a Republican Party that lost and that couldn't successfully govern the country. We need to lean into this new coalition, do a better job serving them, and that's how we get them to show up in these midterm elections so that we can win not just presidential races, but midterm races too.
That right there should be blasted on every single campaign memo, on every single conversation, on every single media hit, every single talking piece. All conservative networks and media should be aligning behind that message because that is the winning message right there. Give people something they can believe in. Give something that is bigger than themselves that they can take part in. Give them a reason. Don't just do because you owe me. That's not going to work. It's going to be bad. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to let it be that. I'm going to continue to pound this, like I said, into the ground. But this is the message. This is how you do it. Now, let's keep on going because I got to show you some other stuff. This is really important stuff, guys. And we are grinding towards saving this country. And if you're down with that mission, please hit that subscribe button, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, do all the things you can to share it. It's something that really makes the algorithm get all happy. All right, here we go. This is something else that I said. The level of copium, guys, I've not seen since the Kamala Harris election. Okay? All right, watch this. Democrats have now logged 2 straight months of voter registration gains in Pennsylvania, a break from a nearly decade of steady Republican growth. I swear they don't hear themselves talk. It's one of the clearest quantitative signs so far of the recent broader vibe shift towards Democrats. Okay. And you can follow me on X if you want to catch all these things live when I'm not covering them on stream, because you can see how they're responding right there. This is genuinely insane to me. You're going to tell me over a 10-year period, in the same sentence, over a 10-year period, you did not have a single Democrat gain. 120 months. You have 2 months in the middle of a midterm when the incumbency has the House, the Senate, and the White House, which is traditionally a resistance to that homogeneity of power, and your big, that's the vibe shift, is 2 months out of 120? I mean, all right. Hopium and copium doesn't quite cover that one. That's just dumb. Now, there is something to be said there, and factually, if you start to see slipping, adjust. Republicans, easy. Look, problem, adjust. No problem anymore. It's very simple. All right, let's keep on going. Oh, man, I'm going to piss everybody off. But there's green sign. There's a little green shoots everywhere. See? They would have you know that everything is toast and gone, and this election in Tennessee is the harbinger of death and doom and destruction for everyone conservative. You would think that there's no Republicans being grown anywhere, and no one really cares about anything Republican, except for all the other states and all the other areas. Okay, Louisiana went up for Republicans. I got a few things I want to show you. Florida just went up by 5,000, lost 5,000, a GOP lead of 1.412 million. I mean, literally, guys, mid-November, a registration update in Florida, plus 5,000, minus 5,000 for Dems. I mean, it's wild. And it all comes back, and if you're just now tuning in, to this underlying principle. The Supreme Court is ready to limit key parts of the Voting Rights Act. That's a 20 House seat swing. Okay? Then you got New York Times over here with the Electoral College that could tilt further from Democrats because all the people left the insane policies. They gained votes in Texas, Florida, Idaho, and Utah, and they're going to lose votes in New York, Rhode Island, Illinois, and California. That's House seats, and that's Electoral College votes. The blue wall in the northern part of the country is no longer going to be a thing come 2032. I mean, in 6 years. I mean, you just have to look at the whole macro. You have to that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to paint the whole picture for you guys. All right, let's keep on going. And meanwhile, the Democrats get another blow to their affordability narrative. Again, I'm going to all day. Everything's linked. This is a CNN story about how low gas is. Gasoline, the indicator of the economy. Yeah, watch this.
This morning, some states seeing gas prices below $3 for the first time in years. Let's get to CNN's Matt Egan for the good news on this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to finally be here with some good news on the cost of living front. So for the first time in 4.5 years, gas prices are averaging $3 a gallon nationally, according to AAA, down by 7 cents in just the past week. Gas prices were low a year ago as well, but they're even cheaper now. This is encouraging to see because late last month there was a period where gas prices were actually higher this year than last year, but that has reversed again, and now we've just fractions of a penny away from breaking below $3 a gallon. Now, as you mentioned, we've got 20 states across the country where the average is actually less than $2.75 a gallon, including.
You've got 20 states across the nation, and oh my God, those look majority red, where gas is below $2.75. Just in case you can't see that, let me just zoom in. Because it's weird when the narrative is from the Democrats that it's all about affordability and nothing's going down and everything's getting more and more expensive. Gas being below $2.75, that hasn't happened in 4.5 years. Who was president 4.5 years ago? I tell you, wonders never cease. Wonders just never cease. But let's continue. Maybe there's some more in here that you guys need to know. There is. Watch.
North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Colorado as well. Certainly nice to see this. Why is this happening? Well, it all comes down, of course, to oil prices, right? Oil prices are about $59 a barrel this morning. If you look back in history, on December 1, 3 years ago, we're looking at $81 a barrel for oil, $67 even last year. So significantly cheaper. And that's because right now, supply of oil continues to outpace demand.
Hold the phone. I'm going to leave that up just for dramatic effect. Everybody out there in the internet, just you guys tell me, what do you think? Like, Trump has literally opened his... God, one of his campaign promises was literally get more gas in the system, more supply, prices will come down. Economics 101. Look, more supply in the system. 2022, Biden. 2023, Biden. 2024, Biden. 2025, Donald Trump. Y'all, I mean, good God. It's just, but they won't tell you that. Nope. Everything's evil. Everything's horrible. Everything's awful. Remember, guys, hit that like emojis, chat, share it out, hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get it.
U.S. supply, production in the U.S. is at all-time highs. It's higher than last year, but only a little bit higher. OPEC is the big story, though, right? Saudi-led OPEC, they are ramping up production substantially this year. They've signaled that they plan to pause those output hikes next year. But for now, look, this is a good story when it comes to the affordability crisis. Gasoline, it's relatively cheap.
All right, well, good news.
That is weird. You know, what was the guy's name who was talking to Saudi Arabia about opening up OPEC and getting more oil in the system? I think his name rhymed with Schmrump. I mean, like, listen, I'm going to be objective, and I'm going to tell you when things are going bad for Trumpster, and I'm going to tell you when things are going good for Trumpster. I'm going to tell you good whatever. I'm on your team. I'm not anyone individual's team. But genuinely, they're just gaslighting you, and that pisses me off. Because they're lying to your faces, and they're making you have emotional turmoil about thinking that something doesn't exist, that doesn't. All right, let's keep on going. Maybe there's something else that could just, I don't know, come out of the blue. Oh, look, the biggest Black Friday ever on record. Okay, maybe I'm making this up too.
The fact is that we just had the best Black Friday that we've ever seen. And it's not just because people are out there, taking debt on their credit cards. It's because incomes are way up under President Trump. They dropped about $3,000 a person, $6,000 a family under Joe Biden. And it's up $1,500 a person so far this year. And with all that extra money and with the government shut down over so people feel comfortable going back to stores, that we're seeing a really blowout, Thanksgiving and Christmas coming our way. I think all the retailers expect that both online and in-store sales are going to be the highest we've ever seen. And the point is that that's happening even though inflation is way, way down under President Trump. And it was 5-10% under Biden, and right now it's running at about 2.5%. And it's not, it's way lower than wage growth. Right? And so.
Okay. Enough of that. I will spare you the spin, and I will bring you actually what's happening. Because, everybody spends it. I'm just going to be the guy that makes it stop spinning and going, boop. All right, listen. If you objectively, guys, come here. If you've got gas prices in 20 of the 50 states that are below 275, the national average, including all the blue states with bigger gasoline taxes and all the different aspects of the entire apparatus of penalization of, freedom of movement, it's at $3. That is very low. That's going to have a direct effect on that economy that everyone, and the affordability that everyone's talking about. If truly wages are going upwards and they're outpacing inflation, that means people are going to have more money in their pockets. If you have a Black Friday sales that rose by 9.1% year over year when Biden was president and now Trump is president, the whole affordability narrative that Democrats are crafting, it doesn't seem to land as well when data is actually presented. Keep in mind, Trump has been in office 11 months. I'm not making excuses. No one is perfect. I would never do that to you guys. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you the sky is raining or when someone's peeing on your heads. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But honest to God, objectively, what? Let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. I got even more for y'all because we are about something bigger than ourselves. Meanwhile, the left is destroying themselves. This is a feel-good story from on high right here. Jasmine Crockett, when she declares for Senate, I might throw a party. You guys might be invited. The New Liberal says, if we do this, we deserve to be cooked. Talking about Jasmine Crockett, now the favorite to win the Texas Democratic Senate primary. Y'all, just let them talk. They love to say how they've got it, but then they really start sucking. There's the same thing. Disapprove 80% of Congress, approve 14%. Don't know who thinks Congress is in the good approval, but anyway, that's what you're seeing. Let's keep on going here. Got something else for you. This part I find truly fascinating. This is a Democratic, what's the best word? Consultant. That's the best word. It's a Democratic consultant talking about what the left is doing, and it's going to narrow and it's going to echo something that we've been talking about on this channel for a while. The left is outpacing the moderate Democrats, and they're running all these insane lefties, and they are absolutely going to lose in the general elections over time, on average. They're going to win individuals. I'm never going to tell you they're never going to win again. It's kind of like that whole thing. I'm not going to lie to you. But genuinely, watch this, okay? They're saying the same thing that you and I are talking about.
History of it.
Well, I think there's an anti-incumbency factor that is happening to both Democrats and Republicans because so many people are anxious about the economy. But I think Bain is not a very serious candidate. She's certainly an extreme candidate. She said she hates Nashville, where she would represent. She's for defund the police, a whole host of very far left sort of democratic socialist ideas. And I think this reflects, Kevin, two failures on the part of the Democratic Party. It used to be a generation ago that the Democratic leadership, say Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, would be able to stop far-left candidacies like this by using the state Democratic apparatus and the donor apparatus to make sure that you had centrist candidates that would have a better chance of winning and that would reflect well on the Democratic Party generally. And that infrastructure has just collapsed. The Democratic leadership no longer has that kind of control that they did, and that's why you see extremist candidates emerging around the country. The second issue is I think the Democratic leadership has really failed to articulate a set of ideas that would appeal to an increasingly disaffected youth. And that's why you get bad ideas that have sensational online appeal, why you have those ideas starting to gain more interest amongst particular.
All right. This is the part where I'm just going to say something I want you guys to send to the nearest young person that you can think of, right? The sensationalism that he's talking about is socialism, redistribution of wealth, soak the rich, proletariat versus bourgeoisie. This is the part where I need you to send it to a young person that you know, whether it's child, whether it's grandchild, whoever it is. This is the part right here. And go. We live in an amazing country. We are blessed beyond measure to have an amazing country to give us the opportunity that we have. Any issue that we have in our nation is because of the people who are failing us in our system, not the system itself. This whole lie of the system is failing you, everything is built and rigged against you is a complete and total lie to gain power for themselves. Okay? Young men, if you want to be part of something, be part of something that has tradition and goes directly into our veins and our bloodline and our history, our genetics, our freedom. We have people who have literally given up everything for the right for us to vote, for the right to have the Bill of Rights, to take part in our political process, to have a voice, all of these things. We are the one unique nation in the entire planet that has the rights that we have. If you're looking to belong to something, you already do. That's the men. Women, you are being courted, this is the younger women, you are being courted to basically be an acolyte for the Democrat Party forever. They are looking to tear you away and break you away from anything that would be relational, that would break you away from their grip on you and their vote. That's why the only demographic left in the Democratic left is the women. White liberal women. That's it. You can look at all the demographics, you can look at everything. They are collecting these people because they don't have any relationships. They don't encourage them to have children. They don't encourage them to have relationships with spouses. They don't encourage them to have healthy relationships across the board. It's all about their career, and it's about them, and it's about a tax base. That's it. And I'm just being candid with you. Young men and young women unify behind the fact that you're American and you're blessed beyond belief to be so. Anyway, back to the show. That's just something I felt like I wanted to say. Let's get back into this real quick, because now I'm going to hit you with a little bit of a truth bomb. And if you agree with that, let me see in the chat, the comments, the emojis, or if I'm just preaching to the choir. That's possible too. All right. This part is the last part I'm going to show you. The Donald Trump presidential job approval, 55 to 42.6. That's what they think is going to make them win the entire election and everything. That's what they think. Okay? This part is funny. I find this comical. Republican Party favorability and Democratic Party favorability. The Democrats are at 34% favorable. Republicans at 40%. Not much better, I'll be honest with you. Republicans are unfavorable at 53%, unfavorable at 56% for Democrats. Democrats are in worse shape, but the fact is, no one likes our politicians because they're all a bunch of crooks. That's the general conception or perception. But then this piece right here does not match reality. This is the important piece. The 2026 generic congressional vote. Now, I am showing you Real Clear Politics right now. This is an aggregate of all polls. So, not just one, not Republican, not leftist, everybody. And this also includes an outlier poll. Okay? When it's at 5.2 advantage Democrats, they'll take the House by like 1 or 2 seats. Objectively, mathematically. When you're looking at a 3%, 2% difference, it's dead tied. And when the Republicans have any sort of 0, 1%, 2% advantage, it's over. The Democrats are toast. The baseline is about 3% Democrat, but they don't tell you that. They just say, oh my God, look at this 14 poll outlier. Nope, doesn't exist. This right here is a very close Democrat versus Republican generic ballot. Who are you going to vote for in the House to take the House in a year from now? Gasoline is falling. Black Friday sales are skyrocketing. Revenues are skyrocketing. Tariff revenues are skyrocketing. Guys, you got 12 months of that coming. They're just propagandizing you. In fact, this is why I'm so bullish on our country and so, honestly, ready to win and just I'm going to tell you we're going to win all the time right here. If the Supreme Court comes out right before the election and takes away, I think, 13 seats that were gerrymandered specifically for minority voting, that's all aligned to the Democrat, they're going to lose 12 seats. They can't take it anyway. If you look at the redistricting, the total number is like 22. But don't worry, they're going to take this one in Tennessee. You have to look at this macro. The entire country shifted right by a large margin. They aren't shifting back left. Their ideology hasn't changed. What they're doing is they are not motivated on the right because Trump isn't on the ballot and it's not a general, and the left is motivated because Donald Trump is the devil. That's what's happening. All right, let's go one more thing. This is the other piece. If you missed any of it, understand this is a really sweet cherry on top right here. The New York Times, how the Electoral College could tilt further from Democrats. And I'm telling you the truth here, guys, this is already baked in the cake. Unless we have a complete and total COVID reversal, this is going to happen. Projected to gain electoral votes in 2032. Texas, Florida, Utah, Idaho. Those are all red. Projected to lose Electoral College votes in 2032. Illinois, New York, Rhode Island, California. You're looking at potential wiping out of House seats that were created just specifically to rig the system. Those are potentially about to leave. You've got the Electoral College going to be reflecting a new population shift in 2032 because the census is in 2030. They're going to lose their collective minds because all the states up there in the top, you know how every year it's Minnesota. I'll go back for this. It's Minnesota, it's Michigan, it's Pennsylvania, it's Ohio, it's Wisconsin, that whole blue wall. The blue wall is not going to matter anymore. Bear with me. Stay with me for 4 more years. This is going to become a reality, and it's going to be really fun because the Democrats are going to have to shift to other tactics and shift to other areas. They're either going to have to moderate or they're going to have to pick up more states. That's why I keep on telling you consistently, you are on the path to winning. You're on the path to saving this country. The one piece that we need is to get rid of all the temptation of all the very seductive have-nots, socialism, bourgeoisie, proletariat, the extreme nationalism, all the things. We get rid of all that crap, man, we button it up, we wrap this thing up for the next 20 years. Honest to God. But that's directly in your hands, guys. Make sure you send this stuff out. Let me know what you think in the comments right over here. Emojis, chats, planes, all the feedback I can gather and muster, because I feel like I probably ticked off a few people. I think I did in this episode. But I'll wait for you guys to tell me. Listen, I love each and every one of you just the right amount that makes you feel comfortable. I hope you are down with the mission of this channel. No, it comes from a good place, even when I have to get a little bit backhandy. And I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.